All right. Let's go. Boss up, baby. We bossed up, got the boss up gear on today. We're talking about auto insurance, commercial auto insurance. Yes, that's what we about this morning. So come on in. Of course, what we do every day, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, we help you guys find these contracts, find work, and find ways to get you guys paid. You dig? And we got a great show today. Got some insurance information. And we also got a guest today. Also got a guest. Also got a guest today. So we're going to bring him up, the homie Mike Bowden. Yo, what up, Jordan? What up, Jordan? Come on in, check in. Everybody comment what city and state they're in. Let the beat build. Let people come on in. Trying to get about 15 people live streaming. And we got special guest Michael Bowden today. Special guest Michael Bowden is going to join us. He has his own insurance company, and he is going to assist and answer questions and kind of give some free game, some information around the insurance space and the commercial insurance space, and know what his business does. And if you're in Georgia, and also he's expanding to Alabama, so if you're in those two states, he can help you out with insurance. So go ahead and come on in, hit that like button. Go ahead and pay that like tax. Drop a super chat, drop a cash app, or you can book a consultation with me at creditk.com. Go ahead and book that consultation, and we can get rolling. All right. So a couple more minutes, we're gonna get started. We got California, East Bay in the building. Not sure what East Bay is. I guess that's the Bay Area somewhere. North Cali. Shout out to North Cali. We got Jordan. Shout out Jordan. We checking out from Jordan. Let us know. And we're gonna get into the insurance information. Oh, how do I get this off the screen? Okay, I hope he can join still. And then if anybody else wants to join the live stream later, here is the link. I can come up, ask me any questions. We can chat. If you got some information you want to share, some good games, some good information you want to share with the people, please feel free to do so. And that's the stream y'all link to come on in while we're waiting on our guests. But let's go ahead and get into the feature presentation. So the main thing about insurance. Okay, oh, this near Pittsburgh. Okay, Jordan, shout out to you guys. All right, so the main thing about insurance in this business is the certain requirements. Now, I get a lot of questions and comments asking, do I need commercial auto insurance? No, you do not need commercial auto insurance unless you have a commercial vehicle, like a van that you finance through a Ford commercial, like I did when I got my cargo van, or a car through Alley, if you did through your business credit. If it's a vehicle owned by your business, you have to get commercial insurance. Now, if it's owned by your person, then you do not have to get commercial insurance, but you still have to have a certain amount of requirements to be qualified for these companies. And all of the companies I've done courier work for, whether it's auto parts delivery, medical courier delivery, parcel last mile package delivery, all of them required a certain level of insurance, which was usually 100, 350. So here's what exactly that means. This one is for 100, 300, 100, but the most of the ones I see are for 100, 350. And exactly what that means is, so if you got a policy, you would need over $100,000 coverage per person. So each person that rides in the vehicle, you will have that amount of coverage. You have up to 300,000 in bodily injury coverage per accident. So that covers, and I hope Mike kind of explains this when he comes in, break this down for you. So if I'm wrong, but for the person that's driving the vehicle and for any person that you may hit or involved in the accident of the other party, you have up to $300,000 insurance. So if they have any injuries, they have to go in the hospital. The insurance company will cover up to $300,000 of that, and then $100,000 of property damage. So if you hit something, you break the load, and you don't strap the load in, and it falls over. Long as it's under $100,000, you should be fine. And in most cases, they only want $50,000 for that. Usually, most stuff you're transporting is not going to be worth over $50,000 unless you're hauling cars or some things like that, which could be a lot more. But usually, the insurance, stuff that you're covering in your car, medical insurance, auto parts, none of that stuff is over $50,000. So that's usually the highest limit they require. So the 100, 300, 100. If you ever see that, when you're ever applying for apps, if you're ever applying for these courier positions, if you see where it says 100, 350 or 100, 300, 100, this is what they mean. This is the insurance requirements. And this is what you will contact your own personal insurance company to see if they can send you your declaration page. Once they send you your declaration page, you can look and see what insurance coverage you have on your personal insurance. If it's that amount, you can leave it like that. If it's lower than this 100, 350 or 100, then you need to call your insurance company and then raise it up in order to get qualified to do these routes. Now, free game. I never telling anybody to do this, but this is what I did starting off when I didn't really have a lot of money to pay those high insurance rates. Once I got approved, once I sent in my paperwork to the courier company, I then went back and lowered my insurance. Now, I'm not telling anybody to do that, but that is a way to skate around some things, just giving y'all a little free game. But, do the right thing. You never know if you get in an accident, what will happen. If you don't have that insurance coverage, then you could be liable and be sued. And that's why I always recommend people form their LLC when doing this business, even though it's limited liability. Things like that can deter you from being sued and getting your personal finances, attacked. All right. So that's the deal with the insurance requirements. This is what you see. I know a lot of people ask me, can I do this without insurance? I'm like, how are you driving a vehicle without insurance? Probably they mean commercial insurance, but yes, you do need some type of insurance if you're doing any type of driving gig. That's just U.S. and state law to have insurance. But certain amount of insurance you might not necessarily need. All right. So hopefully we got Mike coming in here in just a moment. Let's see where he's at, if he's having any issues finding the link. And we'll get rolling. All right, so he's commenting, he's about to come on in. And let's see who we got here. We got Jordan from Jonestown, PA. I guess that's close to Pittsburgh. And we got Concord, California, near Oakland. All right, yay area. Shout out to 40 Water. I'm too short. My favorite word. Yeah. Shayna Boykin. Hey, what's up, Shayna? Where you looking at this from? City and state? Does your LLC have to say absolutely not? Water. Absolutely not. Your LLC does not have to say transportation. And quite frankly, you don't even want to put transportation in it. Why? Because it's a red flag industry. Transportation is, you all know how many trucking businesses go out of business or how many truckers have their MC and stuff. And 1-2 years later, the truck breaks down and they're no longer in business, but they're liable for that debt. So what the banking and lending institution have done, they noticed that, and they no longer lend to businesses with the word transportation in it. Well, not no longer, but it's a red flag, and it's harder to get approved for business financing. And if you want to get a vehicle in your business name, or you want to get some business funding or loans to expand your business, having the word transportation in it is not good. Having the name logistics, having the word delivery is a little bit more safer, but just kind of have your name being as vague as possible is the best way. It's the best way to do it. Having your uh, business name low key as possible. All right, and then we got our guest in the waiting room. I'm about to bring him on in just a second. This is Mike Bowden. I want to introduce him. This is Alpha Insurance. This is his billboard outside of Atlanta. This is what he does for a living. So let's go ahead and introduce Mike Bowden. Bring him to the stage. What up, Mike?
What up, man? How you doing?
Real good, real good. Okay, you sounding real clear. So, kind of introduce you, told you what you do. You're an insurance broker out of Georgia. I know we mentioned before that you were expanding to get your license for Alabama as well.
Yes,
So,
sir. Yeah. We working on that. Gonna be able to be in 2 states.
okay. So go ahead and introduce yourself. Let them know how long you've been in this industry, and we're going to kind of talk about some commercial insurance that you partner with and that you kind of broker out.
All right. So I'm Michael Bowden, agency owner of the Bowden Agency LLC. Contracted with Alpha Insurance. I've been in insurance for just a little over 2 years now. We do sell home, auto, commercial, and life insurance. So yeah, man, that's it.
All right. So he does home, commercial, and auto insurance. This is
And life. Don't forget that
and
life.
life. Okay, don't
Really
forget
important.
about
Y'all
life.
get y'all life insurance.
You got to get the life insurance. So, um, break down some of the companies that you've been doing, I guess, deals or offering commercial insurance with, maybe like 3 companies, and kind of how they break down and pay structure, or I guess premiums that that the monthly user have to pay.
So we really the be honest, and I know nobody likes to hear this, but
Yeah,
Progressive is the giant for commercial.
yeah.
Um I mean that's who we use the majority of the time. Like I'm gonna be honest with you. If I get a commercial deal, it's gonna go through Progressive first unless they already have Progressive.
Okay.
From my experience, if they have Progressive, we do have Alpha has its own brokerage, so we use Johnson and Johnson. Yes, the people who make the baby products, they got an insurance company, and
Right.
they're like a brokerage, and they reach out to multiple companies. So you never really know who they're gonna go through because they shop it as well. They have like a couple different companies that
Mhm.
they'll go through and send it through. But I mean, those
Are all
premiums.
those affiliated with Progressive, or they're just their own separate, the other insurance company that Johnson and Johnson offers?
Ask that one more time.
Are they partnered with Progressive, or they're a whole separate entity
No,
with?
that's totally separate.
Yeah,
But
okay,
but when I call Johnson and Johnson and they say, well, who they currently insured with, if I say Progressive, they won't even quote it because they'll tell me straight up they can't compete with Progressive. So that's why I say like,
and when you say that in regards to pricing, or just the stuff they offer,
yeah, pricing.
pricing. Okay,
Yeah. So
okay.
that's why I was like Progressive, although, I know one time you and I talked and you mentioned how high Progressive premiums are.
Mm-hmm.
Commercial premiums just high period.
Top here, exactly.
Yeah. So I mean like
Exactly.
a lot of times Progressive is usually the better rate, believe it or not, than these other companies that I have access to.
Okay, okay. Now this is an insurance company that where is it? There we go. All right, this is an insurance company I had on my cargo van, as well as my car I was using for Turo.
Right.
It's a company called Byberg. They're backed by Berkshire Hathaway.
Yep.
Now, at the time, this was 2021. They were a brand new auto commercial insurance, I guess, branch. So their
Mhm.
branch of commercial auto insurance was brand new. They had no adjusters. They had only had one, I guess, insurance agent for that. So my experience, once I got in an accident, it took 10 months to get my claim paid out. I had to contact the Better Business Bureau. I had to, and then the only reason I went with them because that was the cheapest insurance. They quoted me at $175 a month for commercial auto insurance on a 2018 Kia Optima.
Yep.
And everybody else was 500 and up for the
Mhm.
commercial auto insurance, just doing the same thing. And so I went the cheap route and I paid for it. And like I
Yep.
said, it set me back a great deal doing that. So paying that extra premium price through Progressive or Geico, some of the more established insurance companies will be a better benefit than going through some of these discounted insurance brokers. Have you ever done business or sent anybody to Berkshire, or how does that
I
look?
haven't because we don't. So our company, we don't work with everybody. Like I
Gotcha.
said, Alpha has its own brokerage, and the way that works is we only partner with other A plus rated companies. We're A plus rated company ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
Look back, there was another podcast host. I won't drop his name on your show, but he put us out. We're only one of two in the nation companies that are A plus rated when it comes to paying out claims. Like in the nation now. It's
Yes.
Alpha, and then it's North Carolina Farm Bureau or something like that. But anyway, long story short, like you said, that makes a difference. And so
Mm-hmm.
like everybody wants cheap. I
Service.
get it. But at the end of the day, you got to go with the best coverage. Like price is good, but you got to go with the best coverage, and you got to go who gonna pay your claim. Because everybody, nobody likes to pay insurance, but when you need it, it's important to you. So you got to make sure you got somebody who's gonna take care of you, and that's why we don't work with certain companies until they prove that they got the financial backing to pay out those claims. And like you said, that was brand new, so like that's not somebody that we're even partnered with.
And have you ever filled a claim or had somebody contact you where they was using their personal insurance to do, say, a delivery job, Uber Eats, food delivery, any type of work-related business in their personal vehicle, but they got in an accident and their insurance didn't cover them because they were using it for business purposes?
Yes, I had a customer that he had vehicles on Turo, and
Mm,
he was one of my Progressive customers. And Progressive, they called me. They was like, "Hey, did you know this car was on Turo?" No, I did not.
how do they know that they
So,
certain?
well, because the claim that was filed, they one of the cars that was on Turo, somebody
Mm,
took it and kept it. And they was trying to get it back. So they had to file for it stolen, and then they found out it was on Turo, and yeah, they didn't
gosh,
want to cover the claim. I think they did end up covering that claim, but they canceled the insurance.
some insurance
They
policy.
kicked them off. So yeah.
Gotcha. All right. Thank you for coming on, Mike. One last question I want to ask you. I know you are very busy, and I also want you to be able to plug your business and let people know how to find you. But one last question here is about this insurance policy. Now, this is one of the main questions I get on my channel from and comments from people
Um,
who watch. It's the insurance requirements. Now, most of the medical courier, auto parts delivery, even some gig apps require you to have a certain level of insurance, this 100, 300, 100.
mhm.
Most of the time I see 100, 350. So I was kind of explaining it earlier, and I hope I didn't mess that up. But how I understand this is, so for the first part where it says 100,000, you want to have it's 100,000 of coverage per person. So anybody that's in the vehicle that's being driven, that's being insured, is covered up to 100,000. Is that something that sounds
Well,
remotely?
so the 100,000 that you see, that's per person per accident.
Okay.
So so the 300,000 is the total that your policy will pay. Period.
Mm.
So if you
So
have
that,
a
that covers the
accident,
person that's driving and the other party that's getting hit as well.
yeah. So that's your liability coverage. So that's that 100 300 part. That's what
Hmm.
covers other people.
Okay.
So that's if you have an accident and you hit another car, that's $100,000 of coverage to cover whatever the damages are to the other person's vehicle, to a max of 300. So just think about if it's a pile up accident, then the most they're gonna pay out is 300,000 total. All right. And
Gotcha.
then the 100,000 in property damage is gonna cover that car or whatever property you hit. So that last number, that's where that comes in at. So if you hit a Bentley or something like that, if you hit a one of those cyber trucks or something like that, you want to make sure you got enough coverage on your policy to cover that. And that's nothing. A
Gotcha.
lot of people like going with the lowest limits to get the lowest price.
Yeah,
You're
and
not
most
covered.
insurance companies I see
Yeah.
only do up to 50, only one up to 50,000. But that makes a whole lot of sense. If you hit a Ferrari or a Cybertruck or something, that's going to jump way over 100,000 in
Yeah.
property damage.
Even if you hit a Tesla, you over 50,
Yeah.
so and it's a lot of those driving around right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you want to make sure you got the coverage.
Not alone the things that you're transporting could be worth, you know what I mean? Especially you transporting organs and stuff for this medical courier business that I teach about. All right.
And
It
that's now
makes
for
sense.
that now you want to have cargo coverage too.
Ooh,
So
okay.
when it comes to
Break that down a little
commercial
bit.
insurance, you got that separate part, you got the cargo coverage. Now you want to base that on, what you're carrying, but most of those, like you said, most of those companies are going to require a certain amount of coverage.
Okay.
So you have to carry certain limits. So they do that on purpose because they know what they're giving you. So yeah, you got to make sure you got the proper cargo coverage to cover what you're carrying, and the proper liability coverage to cover if you hit somebody. Because the thing is, when you're doing commercial business, when they see you a business, they're gonna try to get everything they can. Because you hear the
Mm-hmm.
commercials, they trying to get full policy limits. These people ain't playing, and that's why insurance rates are high in Georgia, by the way. But I
Yeah.
digress. But when you're a commercial entity, people are gonna come after you a lot harder because they think you got the money. They're gonna sue you harder
Mm-hmm.
than they gonna sue a person to person. So you got to make sure you're covered. You really want to get as much coverage you can, and you want to get an umbrella policy. That umbrella gonna give you $1 million worth of coverage. Especially if you got
Mm-hmm.
personal assets, like if you're a homeowner and things like that, you want to make sure that stuff is protected because if your insurance policy don't have it, they gonna get it from somewhere. They can come after you and your belongings. So you want to
And do
make
you
sure you're
need
good.
I guess, a corporation or LLC to get that umbrella coverage, or can you do it with a personal?
You can do umbrellas with personal and business.
Okay.
Yeah, so if you got a commercial policy, more than likely you're gonna have an LLC or corporation or something like that. Then you can do a umbrella policy. And those umbrella policies, they are cheap, man. They not expensive. And we're talking
Okay.
about a couple $100 a year. I mean, not very much for $1 million of coverage, especially on the personal side.
And does that cover auto and say if I had a brick and mortar business as well, or does just cover auto?
Well, so it depends. If you got a commercial umbrella policy, it's gonna cover all your commercial policies. It's umbrella, so it's across everything.
Gotcha, gotcha.
Just like the rain protect you, it protects you like that. Now on your personal stuff, you're talking about your house and your car, you're gonna cover that. But now to get those policies, you do have to carry higher limits. Like on the personal side, you gotta have at least 250, 500, 100 to even get that policy. So you
Gotcha.
got to be somebody that's okay with having a good amount of insurance. Can't have state minimum and an umbrella.
No, no. And if you worried about, getting state minimum, you probably haven't got a lot of assets to cover anyway. So we're
Correct.
not gonna worry about that. But it's for the people who really, got some things that's worth going after. That's
Mhm.
probably who this policy is best for. All right, Mike, I appreciate you. Go ahead and plug your business. Let them know how to find you, how to get a hold of you. I think I got a question somebody asked. Do you work with people? So more people live in California. Not sure that was for me or for you, but kind of just mention, how to find you. And I don't know if you can type it in
Yeah.
anywhere.
So right now I'm only in Georgia. I only do insurance in Georgia, and like Kay said, we're looking to expand to Alabama with the same products. Our company is based in Alabama. The corporate location is for Alpha, and we're only in 3 states: Mississippi, Alabama, and Georgia. Me
Okay.
personally, I'm in Villarica, Georgia, but I do business all across Georgia. You can reach out to us at www.thebowdenagency.com, or you can give us a call 770-459-9880. It's me, my wife, and we have a sales rep, Trina. One of us can get you taken care of as soon as we get you on the phone. We can get you a quote. Now, I do all the commercial and all the life. I'm the only one in the office that's licensed to do those things. So if you're looking for those insurances, you'll talk to me. You can talk to anybody else on the others, though.
Gotcha. And one last thing, is it possible to have a vehicle registered in Georgia, get the insurance coverage in Georgia, but then operate in a different state, operate the business in a different state, and just like say you just drove to South Carolina and start doing business in South Carolina? Is that possible?
No, people do it though, but
Yeah.
what happens is if they get a claim out of state, the insurance company is probably gonna cancel you if they, find out that that's what you're doing. But I mean, insurance, that's not something like because of the prices of insurance in Georgia. That's not something that somebody really want to do
Yeah,
anyway.
you get in the state,
It'll
yeah.
probably be the opposite.
Obviously, yeah. Okay, I got you. But it's still nothing you recommend people doing, even if to save a couple of extra bucks, because it could bite you in the long
Yeah,
run.
look, when it comes to insurance, don't look to cut corners. Like pay the insurance, pay the price, pay what it is, get good coverage, find you a company that, like I said, is A rated. Look up their financial background. You can look that up on a couple different sites. Just look up the company. What's the rating for the company? I mean, even the big boys, like look them up. Find out if they can really take care of you and if they really are gonna take care of you.
Yep.
Because at the end of the day, that's what you pay for.
Yep, and that's what I should have did before I went with this company. Instead of wasting thousands of dollars, because I had to keep the insurance policy going while they was playing around jerking me, so so I can get the thing paid out. So yeah, that cost me a couple of $1,000 in the end. So definitely do your homework, go with somebody credible, and reach out to an insurance agency or insurance broker, just like Mike in your state, before you go and make that purchase, man. I definitely appreciate you coming by, spending some time with us this morning. I'm going to keep you as a friend of the show. So whenever we have insurance questions or something comes up in this industry, I definitely like to bring you back so you can answer the question for us, Mike. Appreciate you, bro.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it.
No problem. No problem. All right. So now it is time for Ask Your Questions. And you can answer your question. We got a couple of people who already comment their city and state. And I got Mike's website in the chat. So if you are, looking at this, looking at the replay, just go through the live chat. You can find his website, thebowdenonagency.com, if you are in Atlanta to get going. All right. So now it's the time we get some motion going. And let's find some work in your area. If you got any questions, let's go. What up, Tyson? Tyson Duro, do you work with people out of state since most companies are leaving California? So, like I say, I'm not sure if this was for me or for the Mike, the insurance guy. Tyson, if you still watching, hit the like button. Put a thumbs up in the comments. And we'll get going with this part of the show. So first we got Tyson Duro in California, East Bay. So that's close to the Bay Area, Oakland. So we're just gonna put in Oakland. I think we did Oakland last Friday. Let's see if I can find the link for this. Let's see real quick, find this stream. Go ahead and comment your city and state. We're gonna do Oakland real quick. Oh, let me do all this. Right, yeah. And let me find a link for this live stream. Let me find a link for the live stream to send the mic so he can share. Gotcha, my boy. All right. So let's get into it. All right, so Oakland, California. What we got? What we got for the homie Tyson? Okay, y'all, they're coming for both of us. Okay, so yeah, now he works out of Georgia and Alabama. So he would not be able to assist, and the company he, franchises through, I guess it's a franchise, Alpha Insurance that he owns, only works in 3 states. But like I said, there are thousands of companies out here, but you know how we said on the live, you want to go with ones that's credible. Here's some insurance company. I know USA. I had this for personal insurance. They have great rates, great customer service. More Peach State Auto, Market Watches, some websites where you can find commercial auto insurance, Travel, State Farm, Geico, Progressive. So, there's a lot of insurance companies out there. All right. How hard is it to get a for hire policy? Damn, I wish you would have asked that question when Mike was on. How hard is it to get? I don't know what a for hire policy is. So let's see if we can get Mike in here to answer some of these questions real quick. But yeah, insurance companies are leaving California. Most of the major players have left and they're leaving homeowners, renters in a bind with no coverage. I never heard anything about that. Got to do some more research. I know because like a lot of fires, earthquakes, things of that nature. A lot of home insurance has been canceled. Same thing in Florida. So for the hurricanes, a lot of them are canceling insurance or going out of business because of the hurricanes and storms. But I know there's also a lot of personal theft and damage to cars and homes. So that could be a reason too. Not real sure why. And then it says, where is it? How hard is it to get a for hire policy? So corporate HQ, not sure what you mean by a for hire policy. Let's see if we can do a Google search. Higher coverage means your business has coverage when you or employees drive a rented, lease, or borrowed car for business. Non-auto applies for employees using their. Okay, so when you rent a car, you get insurance on there. Now, I know most when you go rent a car, most of those companies allow you to use your current insurance if you decline their insurance. Now you just have to ask, your current insurance company. So it's not hard, but you would still have to have a current policy. It's not nothing like you can pay, like when you go rent a car, you can pay the insurance company to do that. It's something you got to already have on your insurance, if I'm not mistaken. And then they add you to the rented or leased or borrowed car as needed. If that makes sense. All right, so let's go back to the Oakland area. This is what we got in the Oakland area. I want everybody to comment their city and state. And this is for the California East Bay with the home of Tyson. We got some Fetch. It's a small contract route delivery, delivering e-commerce packages. You got Return Mates. It's a great company. Very little underused gig app. Return Mates, not in every state, but they're definitely in the North California area. And then Amtrain in the San Mateo area. Mr. Duro. Let's get it. Let's get it. All right, who else we got on here? We got Jordan Hernan. Shayna Boykin. We got Pittsburgh. Let's see what's going on in Pittsburgh. Probably not a whole lot. I do see some stuff in Pittsburgh. So we got Amazon Flex is hiring. Amazon Flex is very hard to get on with, but Amazon Flex will have you booked and busy. I got on with them finally. Still haven't took a route yet. I need to get my butt up and grab one of those early routes. I promise to do that tomorrow. And I'm gonna show you guys. Skipcart is another great company. This one is a national company. Anybody who's looking at this can apply for Skipcart, drop off, DoorDash, blah. Oh, what's this? Okay, here's a different company. First Choice Delivery, Final Mile. We have opening for drivers with cargo vans. So if you got a cargo van, this one is for you. We got an SUV or sedan. We got plenty of other options for you. But let's see if we can find out how much they're paying. $20 an hour for a cargo van. And you driving your own cargo van? My boy, what are we doing? That is not good. We need at least 25, 30 an hour. But negotiate. Whenever you're doing these rates, whenever you getting these contracts, they have more money. Never just settle for the rate. Always negotiate. That's what you got to take. At the end, if they can't do any more money, you really want to take the route, then there's nothing you can do. But it does not hurt to ask for an increase in the rate that you see. They're saying, you see the range 16 to 20. So it's going to be about experience. It's going to be about who has the best pricing, so they may go with somebody who's lower price, but always negotiate your pay. All right. So we got 10 people watching. Not a lot of people checking in. It's Monday. What's going on? Shout out to you guys. Share the live. So we're just talking about insurance information, insurance for your courier, medical courier, auto parts courier, cargo van, trucking business, some do's and don'ts for the insurance industry, some requirements that you may see out there, the 100, the 300, the 50,000. We talked about what exactly those mean in the insurance industry and what it means in regards to you. We're getting coverage. So shout out to you guys. If you need a business consultation, you can book with me at Credit K. I talk about business credit, personal credit, bidding vehicles in your business name, CPN creation. If you need a CPN for a second chance apartment, you need a CPN for a second chance vehicle, I get that for you. Very affordable rates pretty quickly, as well as building up business credit to get a vehicle in your business name with no PG, no personal guarantee, no personal credit check. I've done it, and I can help you do it as well. But comment down your city and state. Usually do about an hour on the live, but we don't get a lot of participation. We don't need a lot of comments or questions. We can always end it early and let you guys check out the replay. And then, of course, we're here every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And I'm going to start doing some more content creation around some sports betting and some crypto. You guys are interested in crypto, it's a great time to buy. Numbers are looking lower than they have been in the past 6 months. Whenever prices on crypto drop like this, there's always a surge, an influx, a increase in price coming right after that. So volatility is how you make money in cryptocurrency. And I can show you how to do that as well. But that's going to be on the Credit K channel. Follow me on the Credit K. If you're watching me on Bossed Up with K, if you're watching me on Credit K, follow me on Bossed Up with K or Credit K on Instagram and TikTok. That's the best place to ask me questions. I'm talking about detailed questions, not just broad questions of what's the CPN or how do I get a CPN or how do I get started or how do I get a courier job. No, I need to say, how do I get started with this particular app? Or is this app in my state? which I probably say you go to the website and see, or do I need commercial insurance if I'm doing this app? Those very direct, targeted questions. This is what I like, not broad questions that I have to type hours or I'm not really sure what you mean. Know exactly what you want to know exactly what you want to ask me. Do your own research first. And if you cannot find the information, if something not making sense, then you ask the detailed question afterwards. So you won't be wasting my time and yours. And if you ever see me leave your question on red, that means you just add a super broad question and I just don't have time to answer that super broad question. Comments or concerns? Anybody? So we got California, Pittsburgh. We did those two. A couple of people checking in. Shayna checking in for the day. Not sure the comment section is working or not, but it's all good. But like I said, we go live with this Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And as always, on the second half of the show, we find work in your area, show you how to find work in your area. Not all jobs are in every city or state. The more populated your city is, the more people, the more options and opportunities you have, but also the more saturated it is and harder that it is to get into. And also, if you do not see a gig app or a company operating in your state, and you are in a pretty big city and state, and you got other apps and other companies operating in, go ahead and hit them up first. I've been had the pleasure and opportunity to become a pilot program for a couple of gig apps and a couple of companies. Some didn't make it, some didn't last at the startup phase. One was Fetch. I had my cargo van rented on that platform. There's another platform where you can rent cargo vans and more commercial vehicles pretty cheaply, and without, with all the jumping, all the hoops. It's kind of like Turo for cargo van business, but that company kind of went out of business. They had some funding issues. So, but like I said, they invited me to be part of the pilot program. I was one of the few people in Atlanta, and I was doing very well. My van stayed rented out. If I wasn't driving it, if I didn't have a route, it stayed rented out on the weekends. People took pretty good care of it, and didn't really have any issues. So that's that. All right, so we're gonna get out of here. Not a lot of people commenting or concerning with this. If you don't have any state or city you want to comment, you want me to find, just hit that like text. I'm sure you got some information, some free game on here. This, like I said, the top website here to find jobs in your area. You can break it down by job type, full-time, part-time, medical, grocery, pharmaceutical, small freight, sign placement. This is one of the best websites around. And like I said, if you're in Florida, there's no excuse for you not to find any medical courier work in Florida, because Florida is the home, the hub of medical courier and delivery work. Oh, US Pack got one in Smyrna, Georgia. Oh, I hardly ever see anything from Georgia from US Pack. What we got here? 6 hours? 75 to 250 miles a day, pharmaceuticals. Yeah, let me put my hat in for that one. I'm not even showing you the screen. But yeah, here is US Pack Final Mile. This company is everywhere. So everybody looking at this, no matter what state or city you're in, they should have routes and work in your area. So go ahead and go to USPack.com. Go USPack.com. That's the website. Select your city and state and search. I'm about to apply for this right now. And if we got any other questions, comments, or concerns, go ahead and fill those out. You dig. That Fast Fleet ATL. Fast Fleet ATL. see what this route here. Whoa, I need some overnight, nighttime stuff, man. I like my little route I was doing from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. That was a great little extra piece of change right there. So go ahead, I filled this out. I want you to all right, y'all. No more questions, comments, or concerns. Still got 13 people watching. The information has been successfully delivered. All right. Appreciate that. And let's keep scrolling down. Here's some more stuff in US Pack. I said US Pack got jobs for everybody. Hollywood, Florida, Boston, Raleigh, Fort Lauderdale. I see so much Florida stuff on here. And this company as well, SDSRX, big time company. All right, we got some people at Lauderdale, Florida. Yep. So we showing all the Florida. Sweetie, there is no excuse not to find no work in Florida. Oh, Hawkinsville, Georgia. Wow. But you from Hawkinsville. What Gucci Man really from now? Jesus, somebody from Hawkinsville down there. Montgomery, Alabama. Here go Langhorne, Pennsylvania. Had somebody from Pittsburgh earlier in the live asking me. Tampa, Florida. Not sure where Lauderdale, Florida is, Tweety, but I guess it's maybe close to Fort Lauderdale, maybe. I don't know. But there's plenty of work in the Florida area. I want you to go to Courier gigs. Just type in your city, and all the closest jobs will come up next to that. And they also do it by week. So, the newer jobs up first. Some more stuff in Tampa, Cocoa Beach, Florida. We got Syracuse, New York, New Hampshire. Never seen New Hampshire. Brandon, Florida. Yeah, a lot of stuff going on in Florida. Sweetie, shout out to you. Appreciate you coming in onto the live. Let me see where exactly Lauderdale. Yeah, Fort Lauderdale down Halloween. So it looks like it's in South Florida. So this is all stuff for you. All right, write those down. Share this live. Hit the like button. Pay the like tax. You can drop me a super chat if you want. But really all I want you to do is just hit the like button. That's all. Just hit the like button on your way out, on your way in. Whether you're looking at this on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, whatever you're looking at, just hit the like button, heart the live, hit the share button, share it with somebody that may be interested in this type of business. We want to get rolling, wants to get started. And that's what it is. So appreciate everybody watching. So we got 10 more people in here, a couple of likes. If you want to know about any work in your city or state or know about some good websites, find work in your area, go ahead and comment down below. Got about 10 more minutes. If not, then I'll get out of here a little earlier. Get out of here slightly early today. We got another meeting at 11. Big money contract with a university system. Going to talk to them, see about getting some things rolling here in Atlanta. That's some comments for my YouTube. This one says, I'm from Atlanta. Grand Theft Auto Atlanta. Okay. I have $1,000, no ride, no LLC. Give a move I can make in the courier business to start getting paid immediately. And nigga, you don't have no car, no LLC. Well, ain't pretty much you can do. But I'm gonna tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna tell you what you can do. I'm gonna tell them to take that $1,000. Get some moving equipment, dollars, blankets, put an ad on Craigslist and Facebook Market. And once you're booked, take the deposit and rent a U-Haul. Or from Enterprise. That's it. You cannot be a courier. You cannot be in the courier business if you do not have a vehicle or access to a vehicle. Renting does work sometimes, but you got to make sure that the contract is worth it. And a lot of times when you're dealing with these carriers and getting these contracts, you have to have insurance and registration in your name or your business name. So for this individual who asked, can you do it with no car, no LLC? It's going to be hard getting the contracts or doing any type of courier work. That's why you need to boss up and start your own business. Boss up, get your own moving business, get your own junk hauling business, or your own roadside assistance business. These things you can do with having a questionable background or with a rented vehicle. All right. All right. So we're about to get on up out of here. Any more questions or concerns? Let me know. So we can get this thing going. All right. And we got 9, 10 likes. Man, hit that like button. Never want to pay that like his ass. Never want to pay the like his ass. Let's see, can I do this? How do I go to my studio? The studio. And this video's not showing up. All right, about to get up out of here. If any more questions, comments, or concerns, we're going to do this again on Wednesday and then on Friday. Every week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, we do this live show talking about the medical courier business in general. If you got any questions, save them for Wednesday. We gone. Or hit me up on Instagram, TikTok,